Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. And thank you. I'm going to wait for the applause to die down. No, stop. You're too kind. The podcast is your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We do not slow down. We do not let up. Full speed is our only speed. I am your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and lost fortunes. And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, Belle. How are you doing tonight, Belle?
You know, it's been a busy but good day. How are you tonight, Scott?
It's been an incredibly busy but an incredibly good day. So I'm simply blooming and going to have a fun show tonight. Here at the podcast, we have a tendency to talk about what others are not talking about and bringing the focus onto use case cryptos because, as we know, these are what drive the market and bring innovation to a world that desperately needs it. The status quo is no longer acceptable. It's time for a technological revolution. Welcome to crypto. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you. So, Belle and I talk. You know, we obviously we talk all the time. She's my producer, so certainly we talk a lot. And we haven't failed to notice that our audience is declining to the point of it's basically just down to us doing our thing, and maybe people watch or maybe people don't. So we are aware of it. And we were trying to get into the nut, trying to get into the root, trying to get into the cause. Now, it could be that I'm just not as interesting as I think I am, and I'm willing to entertain that. I've talked to dead mics a lot, so I'm always willing to entertain it. But we've kind of been struggling with the why. So there's a lot of philosophy that goes on in crypto. There's a lot of economic philosophy that goes on in crypto. There's a lot of ways to do crypto. So I'm of the opinion that we simply lost the audience because we're not doing crypto the popular way. And that where I think really comes down to it. I'm very pragmatic. All right. I'm very fundamental. I'm very foundational. I'm very boring. But I've been able to consistently earn for a long time through a whole lot of markets using that as my guideline, so I'd kind of like to stick with that. Now, I understand this does not resonate well with YouTube. It does not resonate well. It doesn't even resonate well with the Cosmos audience. That's kind of where we're at now because we don't talk about airdrops or holding out your hat and saying, gimme, gimme, gimme. We don't even talk about that anymore because I don't find that very interesting. What I do find interesting is fundamental ways of earning money, and particularly earning that in fundamental projects. Now, I'm going to posit this, and I'm going somewhere with this tonight, guys, I promise. I'm going to posit this with a simple question, and honestly, this goes out to the entire crypto community. If you are a developer on a project, if you are working on a project, if you have an idea to build a project, let me ask you this. Are you a hobby or are you a business? Now, the reason that I ask that question is very, very simple. Because if you have to ask that question, you're a hobby. That's it. Because a business knows what they are. A business has a business plan. A business has an idea on how to get from point A to point B to point C and has a strategy to get there. A business has monetized their idea. A business has monetized their hobby. That's what a business is, and those are what I tend to look for in crypto. Now, I'm going somewhere with this. We're going to have some fun. Don't you guys worry about it. But I have to kind of do it in steps. And this is where we always lose everybody because I like to put out all the information. If I'm talking about something, if I'm going to put it out, I want to put out all the context. So we're going to start with something really, really simple, really, really elementary. And what it is privacy and security. Now, there's the two are not synonymous. As a matter of fact, they're wildly different. Privacy and security are wildly different. And I thought, let's go ahead and start and illustrate this so that I can get on to part B, part C, and part D of the discussion I want to have tonight. So here is security. All right. Now, we're going to do this metaphorically. We're going to do this in your own allegorical cave here. So you draw the picture in your head. You're on a city street. You pick the street, babe. Doesn't matter. There is $1 million cash, and it's in a box that is on the sidewalk. Now, here's the kicker. You can't open the box. You can't move the box. You can't slide the box. You can't nuke the box. There's nothing you can do. All you know is that there is a plexiglass or a see-through box that is holding $1 million and it is effectively immovable. You know that there's $1 million in there, but you can't get to it. Now, what that is called security. Why do we go with security? Because there's a misunderstanding in all of crypto that something is private because it's secure, and that's not true. As a matter of fact, as far as privacy goes, crypto effectively has none. There are maybe two chains that I can think of offhand that actually offer privacy. One is Secret and the other is Oasis. I think there's a third one in there, Bell. Isn't there a third one, somebody else that's building this up?
There is a third one that someone is trying to build up, yes, and I can't for the life of me think of the
No,
name of it.
yeah. So, but this is would be an example of privacy and security. There is no privacy in crypto. Now, you might have the illusion of privacy because your Kepler wallet, they didn't ask you who you were. So you do have kind of a layer of separation. But the activity that happens in that wallet is visible to everybody. Anybody who knows how to look sees every single transaction that you've done. What you bought, what you sold, when you bought it, when you sold it, where did it go, where did it move to, who bought it from you, everything. We can track every single transaction. Now, it has a tremendous amount of security. Crypto's tough to crack. It's not perfect security because things get hacked all the time, but it's a very, very high level of security, but there is no privacy. None. There's not even the illusion of privacy. As a matter of fact, blockchain was built to be not private. It was meant to be exposed to the world so everybody can see what's going on. That's security. Now, privacy, I want you to imagine that box with $1 million in it. Now, you know that box is there, and you know there's $1 million in it. But here is the difference. We're going to hide the box. We're going to take the box, we're going to go to the woods somewhere, and we're going to bury the box. We're going to cover the ground, salt the earth, grow trees, whatever you have to do. But we're going to take that $1 million in that impenetrable box, and then we're going to bury it. So now it's private. Now it is both private and secure. So why am I talking about privacy and security? And the reason that I'm doing this is because Emery was over the other night. You guys saw him on the stream. But we always have these very, very long philosophical conversations when we get together. And there's no microphones, no timing, no anything. We just kind of go at it. So we were having more and more of these big, long philosophical conversations. And believe it or not, it came around to data storage. It always does. Because I work in the field, the legacy field, and because Emery is part of Jackal, of course it's going to go to data storage. This is forefront of our mind. And what we were getting into in this is kind of the biggie, is that security and privacy are binary. All right, there's not shades of gray in this. Something is either secure or it's not secure. Something is either private or it's not private. It's a 1 or it's a 0. I understand people get close, but pretty secure is not secure. Fairly private is not private. It is the illusion of privacy and it's the illusion of security. So Emery literally pinned me down on this one and said, "Why do you, how he likes he loves what he's working on. All right, we see a massive a path forward for Jackal. I see this thing as just absolutely banging, but I actually am more passionate about it because it's one of the only chains that I've seen out here, the only data storage projects that actually fully offers both privacy and security. Now, I'm not going to speak completely on the privacy because we have members of the Podcast LLC that happen to be employed with Jackal that can talk it up all day, and they can talk it up better than me. All I'm saying is introducing the concept of privacy and security and why I would be so hot on a storage product, a hot storage product that offers both. Why should I be excited about that, Bell? Can you see any kind of what would you think would be the market for something like that, Bell? I mean, if I just had to pin you down on it, where do you think this would be advantageous to anybody who's maybe looking to store data? Who would this appeal to?
Oh God, anyone dealing with law, tax, any kind of financial sector, actually education, anyone any school system, this would be absolutely wonderful for the medical field. The list goes on and on.
I didn't even think of schools. It never even occurred to me. But you know how much personally identifiable information is in student transcripts? everything
Well, yeah,
is
the
in
Social
studio.
Security number,
Everything.
everything's in there.
I know, that's funny, and it never occurred to me. That's a very nice catch. So, needless to say, I'm very, very, very heavily committed to this project because I see a path forward for it. This is not a hobby. This is a business. And I understand what'll make this business grow. It's nice and easy. And sometimes it really is that binary. The thing that'll make this business grow is customers. So let's get down to our really, really basic nub. What do we need to do to get customers? Well, first, we have to be able to support a decentralized network. What will it take to support a decentralized network? Servers, lots and lots of servers, lots and lots of people like me, people like you, people like Bell, people like the podcast, people like everybody who will stand up servers, basically on a whim, basically on a lark, basically on a hope. But we will do it because this is what is necessary to provide decentralized data storage on the Jackal network that provides both binary privacy and security. Both of those things, I see a huge, huge, huge market for it. So I know this isn't interesting, guys. I get it. And I know I talk it up. I also get that. But we're going to go ahead and go a step further today because why not? All right. I don't have to be, I don't have to talk up Jackal. I absolutely don't. But what I do care about, what I've always cared about, and what this program has always been about is people who are more, kind of coming along with the podcast, that we share information that can be profitable. I'm going to share more information with you that can be profitable. If you were hanging out on our live streams when we were doing the Akash and doing all that other stuff, you might have noticed that we've been talking about storage providers for Jackal. We've been talking it up hard, really, really hard. So the Jackal storage module has been live for approximately 9 days, Bell. Now, I'm only going to do this once. We're only going to do this once, man. After this, people want to go figure it out. What's the total value that the data servers, the servers that the podcast has stood up? What is the total value that we've collected roughly over the last 9 days?
Roughly 47K.
All right, wait a minute. I'm going to put you big screen. I want to make sure everybody sees this. How much have we earned roughly over the last 9 days since the storage modules went live?
Roughly 47K.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit a little round of applause in there because there are lots and lots and lots of ways to do crypto. And that round of applause was for me, by the way. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. There are lots of ways to do crypto. All right, you can go the meme method, and you can hit and you can hope. You can go the long-term staking, and which is good. I absolutely support that. The podcast supports that. Podcast LLC supports that. You can go with liquidity harvesting. I'm also a big, big fan of that. Not with podcast money, but with my own personal money. I'm a big, big fan of that. Or you can go into harvesting. Now, harvesting is providing hardware to support decentralized networks. We do all of that. We have validators. We provide storage on Jackal. So rather than me just talk it to death, we thought, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and show it off tonight. Let's give everybody some information. And if they want to provide storage, by the way, you are literally taking money out of my pocket. Every other array that goes up on Jackal network that is not my array is costing me money. But what I'm saying is it's for the good of the network. The more CERT providers that are up there, it's for the good of the network. The more arrays that are on there, it's for the good of the network. Whatever's good for the network is good for me. So, yes, we're going to continue to talk it up. So, rather than just sit here and take a victory lap, I thought, you know what? Let's pull up some servers and we can show you some of the servers. So these ones over here, by the way, and all of this, remember what we were talking about just a minute ago, privacy and security? Nothing I'm doing is private. Absolutely nothing I am doing is private. Anybody who wants to see precisely what I'm doing can see what I'm doing, so I feel no qualms about going ahead and showing it off. So what you're looking at right here is obviously Ping Pub. It's it's Jackal, and you see the podcast is way up there on is way up there on the validator chain. Now, we can no longer stake our tokens on our own validator. We can't. We are way too high up there. We have too high of a voting percentage. So if you ever come through here and you're looking up and down here and you see 20, 40, 50,000 that suddenly appeared on a random validator on here at over the last 24 hours, anybody can delegate, but odds are good it was probably us because we are literally breaking apart our tokens and adding more decentralization to the network. It's necessary. Now, I like our validator because our validator has missed 0 blocks. never missed a block. We pay for good hardware, and we have good people that are managing it, Emory. So we've never missed a block. We'll take care of your money, but we can't even put our own money on here anymore. I'm going to stick to my guns and say decentralization means exactly that. These guys, that Medora, they need your tokens more than I need your tokens. Goat Labs. I don't know Goat Labs. Do you know Goat Labs, Bill?
I don't know Goat Labs, but
Yeah,
you
I
know
don't
what?
know.
The chicken coops down there, we know him.
We know him. I like the icon. We might have to get to know Goat Labs because I like the icon, and we could probably throw him 100,000 or
Now,
something like that.
now all I've got going through my head are TikTok videos featuring screaming goats. That's not cool.
All right. Anyway, Goat Labs 5, you're probably going to get a delegation from the podcast. Please be smart with our money, because if you miss a lot of blocks or get downtime, we're just going to move it. So please be smart with our money. All right. Anyway, I picked 4 random storage providers that happen to be podcast storage providers. And again, anybody can look into this. It's not that hard. I'll even show you how. Currently, I don't know when this one was harvested. We're in such a unique place here that I don't have access to any of these wallets. We are, in fact, a business, and a business needs to stay in its lane. Now, I happen to be the CEO of this company, which means I'm not going to deal with the day-to-day or the money, but this is crypto, so it's a trust issue. I don't even have access to these wallets. I love it. It keeps me up at night, but you know what? We're disclosing everything tonight, so why not go ahead and disclose that as well? If you hit me up for Jackal, I don't have any. All right, it's company money, babe. So on this particular server, I don't know when this one was harvested, a couple days ago or something like that. This is 27,667 Jackal. I don't know where we are in the epoch, but let's see if it'll refresh. That one. So we must be caught right in between the refresh. 36,058, and this is 36,058. So we're still waiting for the delegation for this thing. But these are some podcasts validators. Now, am I nervous showing you that information? Absolutely not. And let me show you why. So anybody can do this. You don't need special permission to do exactly what I'm going to do right here. All you need is the F12 key. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh this so that you guys can see it from start to finish. Again, privacy and security. This is not private, not even the illusion of privacy, aside from the fact that I told you that was my server. But anybody clever or smart could probably figure it out. It's not that hard. All of these things have HTTPSs, which means that there's a path from my IP through Cloudflare to here. Anybody smart is probably going to be able to crack that. So
and
you got
Karnthus just chimed in and said the epoch is 1 hour now.
what? Oh, that's why. Round of applause for Karnthus. The epoch used to be a lot quicker, and that was always fun because I just sit there and hit refresh and just watch my tokens go up, go up, go up. But an hour, good. Now we know. So the epoch's an hour, guys. Once you put it up, I'll refresh it. Maybe we'll hit it somewhere in the show. I don't know. So okay. Anyway, look, man. Jackal dashboard. Anybody can get access to the Jackal dashboard if you have a Kepler wallet and a Jackal extension. You can come over here and see it. Now, F12. All right, this is your friend. F12 is something that cannot be hidden. That's what's great about this. That's what's great about blockchain. That's what's great about DeFi. That's what's great about everything. So, raw providers. You see that little bit of information right there? And you see all of this information right here. These are all the providers. This is everything. This is all of them. This is what Jackal Network sees. So a file goes up. It is randomly assigned to one of these 33 providers. The data has a FID, file ID, a CID, chain ID. It's locked in. You get a referral, and then that's it. Now, they don't know what kind of data came up. It's encrypted off your machine. They get a big blob of ones and zeros encrypted off from your machine. They don't know what it is, but they do know what size it is. They stick it over here on a random provider, and that's it. One person now can access that file, and it's the person with access to your wallet. That's it. Just like that. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Now, that is both privacy and security. But let's go ahead and explore a little bit of this privacy. And we're going to pick I want you guys to see one of mine. Jackal provider. Boy, those guys are standing up a bunch. Okay, right here. See, now, it's not real hard based on that name, which everybody can see, to maybe figure out that the podcast owns that storage provider. So where I say it's the illusion of privacy, this is not even the illusion. It's wide open. Anybody can see this. All of the information that you need for that particular provider right there. That's the address. That's our claim. Now, we our IP. Now, we don't display our Keybase identity, but some of these providers do. By the way, you guys should not display your Keybase identity.
Yeah,
Did you want?
thank
Yeah, go ahead,
God.
Bill.
Thank God. I just yeah, going through all those at your request today, I just about lost. Why would you do that?
We were
It's such a
trying to
bad
figure out,
idea.
yeah. And there's at least 7 or 8 of those guys that have their Keybase up there. And we were sitting there going, oh, what could we do with that? Nothing except point out to the guys, maybe don't display your key. But, it's your business. Aaron would know more about this. So he's on the stream. Go ahead and ask him. So anyway, look, you can see the address where this stuff is going. Now, what makes it fun, we're going to pick a random one that is not mine. So whose server is this? All right, NKB blocks. We're just going to copy this little address right there, which, by the way, anybody can do. And we're going to come over here to ping.pub/jackal. So we're going to come over here and take that Jackal address, which you guys saw and how I got it, which wasn't real hard. And we're just going to go ahead and paste it in here. So what this is going to do is show us precisely how many tokens this thing has earned. Now, if I wanted to get deep, I can see every transaction that has happened on here because the ledger is immutable. And once it occurs, it's going to stay up there. You can't erase these things. This is where they are. So I can see this server. I can see what's happening on this server. I can see that somebody harvested their money. Boy, they're getting a lot of strays. Look at that, Bill. Oh, you can't see it just yet. Yeah, they're harvesting a lot of strays. What's the matter with this server?
Did they just spin it up?
I don't know.
Because like the first 12 hours or so, I think they do all claim strays.
All right, well, let's try another address. So I don't know whose this is. It's not one of mine. So we're just going to try this one right here. We will copy it. We're going to paste it on here and see how this one's earning. What I love about this is because I can't get all of the information on the provider, but I can get enough to be able to make an informed decision on whether I should be concerned with them or not. Okay, this one's earned $30. Again, I don't know when they bonded. I'm not going to sort through all this, guys. If you want to, you can. It's all here. I'm not going to sort through each and every transaction to see precisely what's going on here. All I'm showing you is that it's very, very possible for you to find out precisely what's going on here. I've always said, as long as we've been doing this, don't take my word for it. Check for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Check for yourself, and this is specifically how to do it. Now, the more arrays that are on there, and the way that this network works, every single new provider that goes up is effectively taking money out of my pocket because the math is not going to work on my favor. It is randomly assigned a provider, randomly. File goes up off your computer. You hit encrypt and send. It's encrypted. It goes to them. They randomly assign it to a provider, and down it goes. So what I'm kind of hoping for, and my long-term plan for this, is that I stand up big boxes, and my hope is that once the randomness of the smaller boxes wears off, just the sheer volume of data storage I can provide is going to pay out long term. So that's kind of our hope on that. But right now, I'm not terribly concerned about anybody else who's standing up storage providers. I'm not. What I am saying is that I've just illustrated to you that it's profitable. Now, the next thing usually is, well, Scott, how do we do it? How do we do it? Got an answer for that too. So we're going to get into that. I understand that this is boring. It's not exciting. What this is another way to do crypto. Now, the thing I like about this more than anything else is, aside from the fact that the token value on this one is always going to run with Bitcoin like anything else out here, the ups and downs and daily volume of this doesn't bother me. And it hasn't for at least the last 9 days. You know why it doesn't bother me? Because I am providing utility. I am providing storage on a utility chain that is earning me tokens 24/7, 365. We never stop. We never quit. My servers are always on. And if my servers are on, the amount of Jackal that I'm earning is going up, period. Hands down, that's it. I just showed you the servers, just showed you the boxes. I just showed you how to check all over this network. I just showed you everything. So as much as I enjoy swimming, And I still go meme hunting just like anybody else out here every now and again. But it for all intents and purposes, it's just for gambling and entertainment because now that we are starting up what we're starting up, it's just a better earner. None of my investments, and I have over 7 figures spread across multiple wallets. Nothing that I've been in has earned more than $47,000 in 9 days. Nothing. Not even close. But my storage providers have. So there are lots of ways to do crypto. Some of them are not as interesting as the other ways, but some of them are a lot more profitable and a lot safer. I just showed you a safer way. Now, I don't know if you have questions or not, but if you do, we'd be happy to entertain them right now. Belle, am I already losing? You look bored. Is anybody even on, or am I just talking to air here?
We've got 22 people on.
That's a good show for us. That's a big show.
It is a good show for us.
Yeah.
This is why I'm going back and forth because we keep getting comments. So
I have an ad open in the comment section. I don't know how to close it. I don't pay myself. Okay, go ahead, Bill.
All right. So first comment coming in from Jesse Argenziano during the monologue. There are YouTube content creators out there who create shows with charts, shows that show that they can make 10x coins, shows that go over market news, and there are shows like yours. You are one of a kind.
Yeah, but ours content does not resonate with anybody, man. Now, I do have charts illustrating that, and it's called a declination of consistent viewers, people who come back. It's just not very interesting content because a lot of what we talk about is work. And people don't want to work. They want the 10X. You don't think I want the damn 10X? I've been doing this for 30 years. You don't think I want a 10X? But if that was simply the way, it's the only way that I'd be doing it. I'm telling you, it's an anomaly. It doesn't happen very often. And you need to have a plan B, a plan C, and a plan D. I have all of those plans. So I appreciate the comment, Jesse. I understand where you're going with it. But our way is work, man. It is work. It is learning. It's advancing. It's growing. It's doing all those things. And it takes time, man. And that just doesn't appeal to a lot of people. I'm not, this is not lost on me. Appreciate the comment, though. Carry on, Bill.
All right. Emery, again, during the monologue, can you go Sam Kinison for us for a few moments? Rant about biz versus hobby.
Oh my God, dude! Do you really want that? I mean, is that why? Because I haven't really lost my shit in a long time on here. I just have not lost my shit.
I think everyone here would love to hear that.
Nah, man. Look, I've matured. All right, I've matured. I've grown as a studio host, and I understand what you want, Emery, and maybe. I will, but you know what I said was exactly right. If you have to ask, if you're a business or you're a hobby, you're a fucking hobby. All right, you absolutely are. There are rules. There are literally rules to forming a business and actually being profitable in it. And honestly, man, it starts with a single piece of paper. We'll use it right here. All right, this side of the paper says income. That's how much I'm earning. This side says expenditures. That's how much is going out. Every crypto person on the planet should really, really listen to this because if you do, you're going to figure out why you are losing your ass constantly in crypto, why you keep piling into dumbass L1s, and can't figure out why you keep losing your money when it was such a good idea. Everybody knows. Everybody was in this. Everybody else is right but me. And yet you lost your ass on it. You know why? Because this side that says expenditures is higher than this side that says income. Guess what that means? It means it's going to bleed to zero. You are still paying for hardware. You are still paying for devs. You are still paying for all of the things that go into making a business, but you're not treating it like one. It's a game. It's a hobby. It's, hey, look what we did. Look how cool it was when we built it. Are you listening, Juno? Are you listening? And the next L1 that goes tits up, I will do the same rant at the same time. Because all you're doing is opening a storefront with nothing to sell. That's what you're doing. You're putting up a really cool you got the sign spinners, you got the goddamn spotlights, and then you get people through the door and they're like, yeah, there's nothing here. But don't you worry. There's a guy in the back that's saying, hey, it's coming soon. Don't you? Hey, you want to buy an NFT? We got an NFT guy right over here. Do you need a DEX? There's no DEXs where you come from. Well, we got a DEX right over there. And then you say, well, what actually in here actually generates an income aside from speculation? And they go, well, that's coming soon. Don't you see how cool the storefront is? Don't you see? We have ample parking. How can people miss building here? But they seem to do it over and over and over in the cosmos. And when all of these L1s continue to fucking flatline like they do, you get a world of crypto influencers that are just coming up and talking to you about fucking airdrops. But don't you worry, man. You're going to get free money. It's going to be great. That we're no longer actually talking about the problem, meaning business or hobby. And all we're talking about is airdrops. That's what gets people jazzed up. It gets people excited. Who wouldn't be excited for free money? But is it worth 3.5 or 4 months of your life to get an airdrop that you know is going to be worth dick? They're not all Arbitrum. And by the way, how's Arbitrum going, by the way, Bell? Do we need to mention that? Do we need to mention the developer fund on Arbitrum? This is crypto. This is what you get out here. And when you swim in these waters, you're going to get pounded. You just are. So, Scott, why is your show so boring? Because I invest in businesses. Emery, I hope that satisfied the rant. Bell, I hope that satisfied the rant. I should take the video. I don't even think we're going to post this. I've been very, very cool. I'd at least like some acknowledgement that I have really been well-maintained and well-behaved for the last 3 or 4 months. Can I at least get a hallelujah there?
Yes, okay. Yeah, hallelujah. You've been a very, very, very good boy.
And by the way, you guys used to tip me when I rant. Is it because I don't need you? I don't need Belle. You're tipping Belle, by the way. She still doesn't get paid for this. Okay, carry on, Belle.
All right. So Jesse Argenziano talking about the fields that this technology could be applied to. I'm in education, and I was talking to my school's guidance department about keeping their files on Jackal. That won't happen.
How come? Please inform us, Jesse, of the how come. Now, I have a pretty good idea of the how come. And I guess it would come down, are you in public education or are you in private education? It's an important distinction. It's a critically important distinction. So I understand where you're going with that. I would love to know the who, what, when, where, why, and how. I'd love a little bit more context. As soon as you tell me flat out something won't happen, it's what I want more than anything else. I want to make what simply will never happen. That's kind of what I do. So I would love to have a little bit of context on that so we can figure that out. Anyway, Belle, please carry on.
Black Tornado, not exciting? Heck yeah, it is.
What? I'm sorry, I don't know what was exciting. What were we talking about? The show?
Yes.
No, man, we're not exciting, dude. It's an old man with a big puffy white beard.
And in regards to the last comment, Jesse just chimed in and said, public school system needs state government approval.
Yes. And Jesse, we should talk offline. I'm serious, man, because we already have things in the works. The stuff that can never, ever happen, that's all I want, is to make the things that can never, ever happen. And we are currently in talks with several people. Now, I do not represent Jackal. I have nothing to do with Jackal. I am not paid by Jackal. They don't give me money to shill their token. I don't care if you buy it or sell it. I don't care. What we've always done on this show is purely tell you what we're into and show you and illustrate it. I don't care if you climb on board or not, man. It means nothing to me. Would it be better for the network? Absolutely. That's just math. All right. The more providers that are up, it's simply better for the network. Whatever's better for the network is better for me because I'm heavily invested in it. But I don't care if you stand up providers, man. And these things aren't easy. How comfortable are you on CLI? How comfortable are you on command line interface? Effectively, everything you need to stand up a storage provider right this very second is available. Every single document is available. And if you have any kind of savvy, any kind of comfort with CLI, any kind of comfort with Linux, curl, so forth, 2 hours. That's what it should take you to stand this thing up, 2 hours. Now, if you really want it to be a provider, you're going to need a website because you're going to need a certificate. Now, the easiest place to get that certificate is stand up any kind of thing through GoDaddy. Link that GoDaddy through Cloudflare. Boom. Guess what you are now? All right. You DNS it from your site over to Cloudflare, and guess what? Now you're an HTTPS. Now you're a certified provider on the Jackal network. But you don't even need to be. You can literally start it. You can literally start the JProd, and with no certificate whatsoever, and you will still be a provider on this network. You're not going to be a sought-out provider. All you're catching are strays. That's all you're going to be catching. However, strays can also be exceptionally profitable on Jackal, because if you understand how Jackal works, which all that documentation is available, Emery's available, Aaron is available, Bell's available, they're happy to give you all the information. So honestly, man, look, you can continue. I love casinos and I love to gamble, but I would much rather own the casino than gamble in it. Just saying, putting that out there. Bell, please carry on.
Damon, is there a video on setting them up?
Not yet. It's a little bit more difficult. You're going to have a little bit of savvy. Now, here's the funny thing. There's nothing that you can't Google. That's the best part of this. There is effectively nothing that you can't Google. Documentation is available. How to set up a node is available. How to set up an RPC is available. How to set up a storage provider, the documentation is available. But you got to know kind of what you're looking at. Now, here's the best part. If you don't know what you're looking at, Google knows. ChatGPT knows what you're looking at. There are many, many methods to get these things stood up. Now, is it going to take a little bit of work on your part? Yes. It's going to take a little bit of work on your part because this is real crypto business. This is not just meme crypto. That's easy money. That's get in first, scalp a whole hell of a lot of people, bury them, take your profits, and walk away. Now, I get it, man. That's a Viking fashion. I'm a big fan. I've been doing it for years and years and years, and I will continue to do it for years and years and years. But this is actually work. That's why it's not this again, Bell. That's why it's not appealing. One, I know I come off very abusive and obnoxious, and I recognize that. But the other thing is I'm doing a crypto show basically telling you you're going to have to do some work, and nobody wants to hear that. They simply don't. No, we do not have a step-by-step on this one. We just haven't made it yet. I don't know. Maybe we will if we have some time. And the GUI is not available yet either. Now, when the GUI is available, it's basically going to be push here, push here, push here, boom, you're up. An adequate box to provide enterprise level storage on here is going to cost you approximately $450 a month. There are many, many cloud hosting providers that will do it. But guys, this is a serious network with a lot going on, and you're going to need some hardware. You can do the under the desk thing. Don't expect to earn a whole hell of a lot with it. Just don't. If you actually want to, if you want to see this showing up, this kind of money showing up, you're going to pay for it. All right, and it's going to cost you approximately $450 a month right now. That's what the box is going to cost. You configure the box, you hit go, and you're up. You're earning. If you do the time, if you do a little bit of research and you dig all the way down, it should take you 4 hours, start to finish. And once the box is up, the box is always up. That's your money, 24/7, 365. Then we start to get into deeper tokenomics stuff. Well, how do I know this is going to be worth it to me long term? That's a whole different conversation. We're happy to have it. We're just not having it yet. Bell, please carry on.
All right, Jack Sparrow. If this was a TradeFi show, there would be tons of viewers. Crypto folks in general are a different breed. They're they're like bingo players looking for the quick score.
Yeah, and we've had this discussion a lot. And they really look, man, there are lots of ways to do crypto. All right. And I could find you and tell you tons and tons and tons of anecdotal stories about people who bought in for $10 and walked away with a Lambo. There's always going to find anecdotal stories, but those are anecdotal. All right. That is the exception. That's not the rule. It's never been the rule. But when you are talking about crypto and the fundamental misunderstandings of crypto, what it is, what it does, what it's capable of, it just appeals to the swindler, man. Here's what I'm going big screen here, Bell. I don't know if Emery's listening or Aaron is listening here or not.
They're both on.
Okay, I'm going to go big screen here, and I'm going to tell you guys this right now, and I'm addressing this to the entire crypto world or the 50 people who will actually watch this video. You guys should be thankful, and I mean you should be all the way thankful that the people who are working on Jackal Network and building that out are not out to make a quick buck, because if they were, they would fleece a new flock of sheep every single month. There is a method to this, an absolute foolproof method to this. And there is a sucker born every minute who will pile on every single time. So you guys had better be very, very thankful that the good guys in this particular team are, in fact, the good guys, because they would do absolutely nothing illegal, and they would make millions of dollars a month on crypto ignorance. So if you are if you're that kind of person that could look at this philosophically, look up and say thank you, or however you happen to do it. I'm going to leave it right there. But not everybody is like the team that is behind Jackal. So the bulk of these things, 90% of these things, man, they're just out to scam you, flat out to scam you. You have a receptive audience that wants to hear these bullshit messages, and you have a very aggressive audience that wants to say them. This is called a symbiotic relationship, with the money coming out of the pocket of the ignorant and going into the pocket of the swindler. That's crypto. It's bad. It's bad for us. It's bad for the space. It's all the way bad, but there is no putting that genie back in the bottle. It will never, ever go away. For God's sakes, people still sell phone cards. It still exists. Belle, please carry on.
All right, Carnthus, during your micro rant earlier, which was awesome. Yeah, trees mature, sailors just get saltier.
We really do, man. I mean, dude, you should have seen me. I mean, I used to be such a nice boy. That's not true. I was never really a nice boy. I went to war when I was 18. I mean, that kind of changes your outlook on life. But yeah, we do get saltier. But the funny thing is that as my education has gotten better, my rants have it just seems like they sting a little bit more, because I'm not just throwing my arms about. I'm being very, very surgical, and profanity is an important part of that. Not a lot of it, just right at the right time. It's a skill, Aaron, and thank you very much. Carry on, Belle.
All right, so Carnthus, during the rant, plus 10 for the F-bomb.
For the F-bomb.
Yep.
Yeah, man, look, what are we going to do? Earn less money? Do you really? Is that what they're going to do? They're going to demonetize the video so I won't make the 85 cents that I usually do. We did break this down, and with the amount of hours that Belle and I spend working on this show and gathering up our information and figuring out our message and how to spread it, we average approximately 80 cents an hour. That's what we make for doing YouTube. Now, based on what you know about my personal holdings and what I just showed you for my personal storage providers, 80 cents an hour is not a lot of money to me. All right, it's not a lot of anything, but the altruism in me will continue to turn this camera on, expose my little underbelly, and talk to you guys in order to try to get what I believe is profitable information out. Some people simply do not know this. That's all it is, man. Because again, it's like Jack Sparrow said, there's lots of ways to do crypto, and some will continue to do it the hard way. This isn't that. Just saying. Belle, please carry on.
Brownsburg Bats also saying, okay, that got me to 10.
That guy. Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to do the rants anymore, Belle. It's like I'm a clown. It's like I'm a marionette. Rant. Okay, I can do it. I mean, I feel like a clown doing it anymore. I want to be the removed, more mature fellow who doesn't fall victim to some of that stuff. But I mean, you guys are exactly right. I mean, some of the bullshit that goes out here in the crypto world, it irritates me because I can see it from a mile away. Not everything. I still get emails about UST. Well, how can you recommend UST? Number 3 crypto on the planet, dude. All right. I'm not the only one who didn't see that coming. All right. It was all me. All right. Had I put out a video, I would have stopped or avoided the collapse of UST. So it's on me. I accept my portion of the responsibility for that. But what do you want me to do, man? I'm just saying, what do you want? It was UST. It was a big deal. Anyway, carry on, Bill.
Microman, when a customer walks into the AMP business, Tyler asks them, what do we sell?
You want to turn it into an AMP thing? We did an AMP video today. I always dust those off every now and again. You know what? I'm going to go big screen again, Bell. I'm sorry on this one. I'm going to try to continue to do AMP videos on at least once a week on live stream days. I continue to hope and pray that I can reach at least one or two people who are just dreadfully stuck over there. And let me tell you, let me tell you why. There is another way to do crypto aside from waiting 5 or 10 years. Do you want to know what the no, I can't even do that, Bell. I was gonna say, do you know what our storage providers will earn in 5 or 10 years? But I don't. I don't want it. I mean, that's just salt on the wound. We keep reaching out and hoping that instead of the just the diehards that are in these dead chains, instead of them continuing to DCA, Diamond Hand, hoping, all that other good stuff, if they put that same kind of energy into learning command line interface, into researching just a little bit, they could literally be recovering their money every single day by supporting a very, very good network that is, in fact, a business that's not a pure hopium kind of business, but is an actual functional utility. And that's why I do. That's the only reason I do it, man. I don't need to troll that community, babe. They troll themselves. All right, their entire token, their entire model, their entire everything is a troll. You don't need me to come in there and remind you of it. All I am ever doing on that is hoping that I can just reach one person and say, look, man, just consider this. All right, consider that there's something else. You're effectively invested in a meme. They historically do not end well. So don't be that guy. Look at crypto for what it is. Look at something and say, is this a hobby or is this a business? If you can't figure it out, it's a hobby. And for Flexa, I still haven't figured it out. That kind of tells me it might be kind of hobbyish. Anyway, carry on, Bell.
Black Tornado, excellent rant, both quality and quantity.
You know what? Thank you very much. I'm going to give myself a round of applause. Thank you. I don't want to, don't ask me to do that anymore. All right. Don't encourage me to do this. I could rant about crypto for hours. I could just go on and on and on about all of the dumb shit. But it always comes down to the fact that you're hurting people. You are legitimately preying on the weak. You're preying on the uninformed, man. You make your living by going savage on people who work for a living. And man, shame on you. I mean, just all the way around, absolute shame on you. And you influencers, I mean, you actual influencers, you guys who, that was your goal. Your whole goal was to get people to invest based on something that you say. Dude, stop. All right, for all of us, babe, stop. Or learn what the hell you're talking about. Because if you actually knew what you were talking about, you wouldn't be pitching the crap that you're pitching. And you wouldn't be pitching it in the method that you're doing it. You just wouldn't. Shame on all of you. Bell, carry on.
Jack Sparrow hit us with a $19.99 super chat saying, "You do you."
That's Bell's money, dude. I don't need your money, man. I've been having a good week, so that's Bell's money. She can eat now. Carry on, Bell.
Black Tornado. So what exactly am I Googling? How to set up a node? CLI programming? Just give me a starter clue and I'll totally do the rest.
Yeah, Bell, put the links. You know which links. Put them in the chat. Start there. Just plain hands down. Start right there. Now, the worst thing I could possibly do is I'm not going to. Because it wouldn't be to me. The worst thing I could possibly do is give you a couple of email addresses and say, if you have any questions, ping these guys. But I'm not going to do that, man. You know, it pays to be friendly. I'm just saying right there. It really, really, really pays to be friendly. But if you want a starting point, Bell is linking it right there. And this is what we're doing after that. All right. Eventually, maybe when the GUI goes up or something like that, we'll actually do the step-by-step videos, man. But it just seems to me, and this is a personal thing, that if you learn it, you're going to appreciate what you learned a lot more, and it's going to be a hell of a lot more beneficial to you in the long run to figure this out, because it's not just about mining Jackal. That's cool. But now we're going to start getting into the deeper part of it, meaning I have so many of these tokens. What do? Do I just sell them? What is that selling going to do to the price on a chain this new with this little liquidity? What's going to happen? Am I cutting my throat? Oh, my goodness. I signed contracts for these storage providers that I'm using, which means that I have to come up with that cash every single month. So how do I balance all of this? Now, the absolute best thing that you can do is be forced to ask yourself those questions. You know why? Because you're no longer a hobby. Welcome to sleepless nights, man. But it could certainly be profitable. Anyway, carry on, Bill.
All right. And Damon, please post this video to the Patreon.
Uh, okay, Belle. When we're done, pull this down and link it on the Patreon. I'm sure you have access to it if you'd like to. Yeah. We'll leave it up on YouTube. I can do that confidently because we're the just that channel that isn't really about anything. So nobody really watches our stuff. And again, I think it's the ties. Ever since I went to ties, started dressing like an adult, somebody who's in a business, somebody who's serious about the business. Ever since we started doing this, Bell, we get nobody. I mean, just nobody really comes and visits us anymore. I used to like the trolling, and we don't even get that anymore. I mean, Jesus,
No,
what
we
do I got to
don't.
do?
I kind of miss having our trolls around. Where on earth are they?
I don't know. Carry on, Bell.
That was all right. So Karnthish just chimed in saying GUI SVP will be ready end of April in theory.
All right,
And then he
guys.
corrected GUI MVP.
Yeah, I know what he meant. So yeah, guys, that's obvious. Look, you heard it from the horse's mouth. How do I know? Because he works for Jackal. So we have Jackal devs on this show every single show, and nobody ever asks them Jackal questions. I personally consider this. You know what? I can't do it because then it's going to come out, well, you're just trying to show your own token to protect your bags. In this case, I don't need anyone to protect my bags. I can protect my own bags. If you are that type of influencer that does that, that's what you're about, is you bought in stupidly and you now need someone to come in and help you. Stop. All right. Look inward, dude. Just look really, really inward because apparently you don't know anything about crypto, and what you have to do is use a charm, smile, and just absolute buckets and buckets of horse shit to get people to secure your position. All right, I don't need anyone to secure my position. I'm ready for the emails, but I have people that watch this show simply because they hate me and they want to disagree with everything that I have to say. They're very, very vocal about it. They send me emails. I have fans. That's what I'm saying. So I'm more than happy to do it, and it's still my hope that maybe just one of these times they will hear me instead of just listening to my words and waiting for their chance to talk. I'm not out to get anybody, man. I really don't care. Hang on, I'm seeing. Okay, look, we hit the epoch. I don't know when the epoch is. You said it's an hour. So what you're looking at, I don't even know what server this is. It is one of mine. 36,058 Jackal tokens, and we're gonna hit refresh, and now we have. Wait for it. As soon as Ping Pub speeds up. I'm not going to stand up any servers on PingPub, but I should. 36,406. So approximately 400 Jackal tokens since the last epoch at 14.5 cents. I don't know how much that is, but that's what that server is effectively turning over every hour. 21,014 Jackal tokens, and we'll go ahead and hit refresh. 21,014. And this kills it. This is why I can't do this live, Bell. PingPub does not give me the immediate response.
No, it
21,336, so however many tokens that is. Guys, look, man, that is 24/7, 365. That's what that is. As long as you maintain, you set up your server, you have it configured correctly, 24/7, 365, that thing's going to be harvesting tokens because this is how Jackal works. This is how the network works. This is how decentralized storage works. The first-class citizen on Jackal is the storage provider. No storage provider, no Jackal. Sorry, it is what it is. So they're taking very, very good care of because they need us to do what they cannot do for themselves. If they did it for themselves, it wouldn't be decentralized storage. It'd be centralized. And if you want centralized storage, you can do better. You can do better. You can do faster. You can do quicker. You can do all that stuff. But the problem with that is you might have the security, but you just gave up the privacy. So if both elements are important to you, and you need both of these to be binary ones, meaning yes. If you need that, right now there's only one game in town, and that's Jackal. If somebody else, I know that there's a couple people that are close, but Belle, do you know what being pretty private means? Do you know what being fairly private? Do you know what that means?
That's like being a little bit pregnant. I mean, we've had this discussion.
We have, and these are binary things. All right, you are either have privacy or you don't have privacy. You either have security or you don't have security. There is no kind of secure. There is no kind of private. There is no kind of pregnant. There's none of these things. But right now, there's only one actual hot storage provider or chain that is providing these things, and it's Jackal. Sorry. If there was something better, faster, safer, cheaper, more private. If there was something that did a better job, I'd be talking about that something. I would be standing up storage providers for that something. I would be doing all of these things because my money means a lot to me. The work that I perform means a lot to me. My time means a lot to me. And I'm going to be supporting the best project. Right now, this is the best project. So there you go. Are we all out of questions, Belle? Nobody else had anything to say? We're all done?
Carnthus, of course, our resident ballbuster. Who, what, how, what is Jackal? When Safe Moon?
When safe move. Dude, you know what? I had the funniest conversation. Coworker of mine is what's his rank? I have to convert Navy to Army. He's an 04, which I think, what is that? That's a major. He's a major in the National Guard, and he's in infantry, so there's a lot of kids in there. And the guy was texting me all the time because he knows I do a crypto channel, and he's literally calling me and asking me, should I invest in SafeMoon? He's got a whole bunch of little crypto kids in his division, privates, young kids who they have no opportunity to know better because they don't know anything. But all he says is these guys are talking about SafeMoon, all the money that they've made. Oh my God, it's going to the moon. I don't need the Army anymore. I can quit because I have SafeMoon. And to where a major, a commissioned officer in the United States Army is calling me and saying, how do I buy SafeMoon? That's crypto. All right, that is a class of crypto. It's nothing that I dabble in, but I was able to soldier to soldier slap him straight. And no, bad. All right, it's like what was the illustration I used for him? There's two things. There's one big thing that happens in the United States military that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that the official language of the United States military is English, and it's called a claymore. So that was that's how I illustrated him on that. I said, dude, you can go ahead and buy this, dude, but the point towards enemy, that's what's written on a claymore mine. On one side of a claymore, it says point towards enemy. That's how simple we make this stuff sometimes, all right? So that even the simplest person on the planet knows that the bad stuff is going this way. That's the illustration I used. I said, dude, if you buy this, you just pointed the claymore at yourself. Might go off. You never know. It could. But what really is important is that you just pointed it at yourself. So stay away from that. That was my only recommendation. So, but like I said, man, lots of ways to do crypto. You know, my way is work, it's diligence, it's effort, it sucks. And then you could be the very first person to buy SafeMoon. So one of those two things could happen. I don't know. Hope that answered the question, Belle. Carry on.
All right. So, and Carthus did actually answer this one, but Gustav, is there a maximum storage provider threshold on Jackal? Again, per Carthus, yeah, the answer is no.
No. The more storage providers that are up there, the more data that they can hold. And for context, I don't have this specific information in front of me, so please take it with a grain of salt. But several of the large cold storage providers don't confuse cold storage with hot storage, man. They're not even close. If you want a detailed explanation of that, hit me up offline and I'll provide it. But a lot of these, your Filecoin, your Saya, your storage, these guys have exabytes. Exabytes stood up. All right, that's exabyte is 1,000 petabytes. So you're talking about massive amounts of storage, and they still need more. So use that for your context. No, there is no theoretical limit to the amount of storage providers that are on Jackal. The more, the merrier. It is what it is. Belle, carry on unless we're all done.
Last comment coming in from Damon saying 1 in billions of chances of finding this channel. Been reading The Psychology of Money. Good read.
Oh, that's a good read, man. We talk about that a lot. It puts people to sleep. It really does. Anytime you start getting very philosophical, it turns people off because they don't want to know that, man. They want to look at the chart. They want to look at the arrow and say, oh my God, I should buy right now. It means dick. All right. There is absolutely no truth to it. If there was, there would be no need for business school. All right, we would just have soothsayers. We would just have people who could roll the bones, roll the chicken bones, lift up the entrail, and tell you what's about to happen. If we knew, that's how we would be doing it. Anybody could luck out, man. All right, anybody can luck out. And the funny thing about crypto is that it will either go up or down at any given moment, but you're going to be right half the time. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'm going big screen for a second, Bill. Appreciate you guys in enduring us on this one. We had no particular plan, but we thought what we had hoped was going to happen did happen. And we thought we would just share it with you guys. We've been talking up Jackal for a good long time. We've been talking up Jackal storage for a good long time as a way to get an actual passive income.
Oh, last one in from Carnthus.
I was big screen and you just wrecked it. Now I can't even finish.
Sorry, but
damn you.
okay.
Go.
Carnthus actually is asking an important question this time.
Okay.
Should we give away my money?
Aaron, we've given away your money several times. You never pay. I end up paying it. So if you're gonna give away your money, you ask the question, sir. I will spot it, but I promise you I'm getting it back from you this time. So, Aaron, if you would like to, go ahead and give it away. You guys work it out for with Belle. Belle, you're talking now. I'm going on mute, and I'm going to finish my apple juice, which is not apple juice, by the way, guys. It's bourbon tonight. Go ahead, Belle.
All right. So, Carnthus, okay, you were saying next time. We'll get it worked out, dude. All right. Anyway, guys, for each and every one of you guys who joined us tonight and chimed in with comments and questions, we cannot thank you guys enough. If you guys have any more questions on setting up a Jackal storage provider, if you're curious about it at all, I did post the links to the material in the comments. If you have any trouble or questions outside of that, just pop onto the Jackal Discord. I'm sure they would love answering any questions you guys have. Now, with that being said, guys, we are going to be back on Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. In between now and then, if you guys have any more comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to send Scott and I an email, scott@thepodcast.com or bella@thepodcast.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, with that being said, guys, we had a fantastic time tonight. We hope you do too, and we will see you next time.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word, for all of our most current content.